Most graduation success rates show that student athletes have a higher percentage of graduating than regular students do, and also that more student athletes also have straight A's, while non-athletic students do not. But do the rates lie? Many of the classes that students have to take in college require a lot of time. The students have to take labs that require participation and observation, while student athletes travel all over the country and do not have the time to put into these time-consuming classes. So how is it that the GSRs show student athletes with straight A's in these classes while they are mostly away on game tours? It is not an uncommon thing that college officials influence professors to curve student athletes' grades so that these schools can keep these great athletes and earn their colleges good publicity and advertising. But if this is the case, then student athletes are not getting the education that they need. So there needs to be a bigger focus on academics to benefit the student who may not realize the effect that the lack of education truly given to them will have on themselves in the future. There are rules set into place that give student athletes certain grade criteria that they have to meet, but this does not seem to be enough to keep these student athletes well educated. Everyone knows that sports are popular and fun to watch or participate in, but there are not a lot of career opportunities open in professional sports careers, and the ones that are open are so hard to receive. In fact, not many students athletes go on to play in professional sports at all. And most parents want their kids to go to school and do the best they can. For some kids, they excel in sports. These kids tend to think that they no longer need to focus on their academics as much as they should because they are good at a certain sport and think that they will just go on to have a professional career in the sport. The school officials set grade criteria for these student athletes to meet, but they do not set anything to push these athletes to do the best they can in other things as well, such as academics, and this is why the kids don't focus on academics. This can go on to be bad for these children because they probably will not make it to the pros, and then they will be unprepared for whatever career major they were given when they were in college to just give them easy grades. Then while they may appear to be qualified for this job, they're not great at it, and they may not advance as much as someone who had went through all those classes and took the time to train for this job. And as it is expected when a person spends all that time preparing for this career, this college athlete is not. The students may also not like this career too much and will end up forced into it because they did not have their priority set when they were in school, and they just took that because that's what their coaches wanted them to take when they were going into these college sports. And the NCAA records even show statistics that students will make it to professional sports, and they're not very high. As we see here, the percent that high school students will make it to the NCAA in men's basketball is only 3.2%. Women's basketball is only 3.6%. Then we have football with 6.1%, baseball with 6.6%, ice hockey with 10.7%, and men's soccer with 5.7%. And then from the NCAA to pro, men's basketball only has 1.2%, women's basketball only has 0.9%, football with 1.7%, baseball with 11.6%, men's ice hockey with 1.3%, men's soccer with 1.0%. And then we have the percent that they will make it from high school to professional. In men's basketball is only 0.03%, women's basketball is also only 0.03%, football is 0.08%, baseball is 0.6%, and men's ice hockey is 0.1%, and then men's soccer is also only 0.04%. Because of these low numbers, we need to step up and help out these students, which will also in turn make the future of our country better, also supplying it with smarter, well-prepared leaders. Which is why if we influence and require these kids to focus on their academics and education, they will lead better and happier lives. So what we do about this situation depends on you. We can ignore this flaw in our education system and let these students continue on the path they are following. Now, which will lead to disappointment if the student does not make it pro, undereducated people doing the jobs of people who need years of training and developing, running our country and societal standards further down more than they have ever been before. Or we could influence these students to make the right decisions and educate them properly, which would lead to happier lifestyles for these students. Society beginning to see the value of education, influencing the younger children in our world to be better, and a country run by people who push themselves to be better and smarter than others. So as you see, we would not just be bettering the lives of these students, we'd be bettering the lives of all children, bettering society, and strengthening our country. Which is why we need to influence and push these children to focus more on their academics and education, which could eventually lead to many breakthroughs that we cannot picture happening at this moment in time.
Is that done?
No, I've lost